English Podcast Boost. Learn, speak, improve.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Podcast Boost. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. We're so happy you're here today.
Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to English Podcast Boost for more easy English conversations every day.
Today, we are going to talk about something we all deal with every day, money.
Money is definitely an important topic.
Especially when you realize you've spent more money than you expected.
That happens to me more often than I'd like to admit.
Really? What do you usually spend your money on?
Mostly food, transportation, bills, and things for my home.
What about shopping?
That's where I sometimes have a problem.
What do you mean?
I sometimes buy things that I don't really need.
Like what?
Clothes, small electronic devices, things for the kitchen. Sometimes I see something online and think, I need this.
And do you really need it?
Usually. No.
I think many people can understand that.
The problem is that one small purchase doesn't feel expensive.
But several small purchases can become a lot of money.
Exactly. Last month, I bought several things online. Each one was fairly cheap, but together they cost much more than I expected.
That's why it's important to know where your money goes.
I agree.
Do you usually check your expenses?
Not regularly. Sometimes I look at my bank account and wonder, where did all my money go?
That's a good reason to start tracking your spending.
I know. Maybe I should write down everything I spend.
You don't necessarily have to write down every small purchase. You can also use a budgeting app or a simple spreadsheet.
That sounds easier.
The first step is understanding your monthly expenses.
So things like rent, electricity, internet, food, and transportation.
Exactly. These are expenses you usually need to pay every month.
And then there are things we want to buy but don't necessarily need.
Right? That's an important difference, needs and wants.
I think that's where many people have trouble.
Definitely. For example, you need food, but you don't necessarily need to order expensive food every night.
True.
You might want a new phone, but if your current phone works perfectly, you may not need a new one.
That's a good example.
Spending money isn't bad. We just need to make sure we are spending it on things that are important to us.
I like that idea.
So, Alex, if you had to change one spending habit, what would it be?
I'd probably reduce my online shopping.
And what would you do with the money you save?
I'd like to save it for a trip.
That's a great goal.
Having a goal might make it easier to avoid unnecessary purchases.
Exactly. And that's what we'll talk about in the next part, how to decide what you really need and what you simply want. Alex, in the first part, we talked about spending money and buying things we don't really need.
Yes, and I think the biggest problem is knowing the difference between a need and a want.
Exactly. So let's start with a simple question. What is something you really need?
Food, of course.
Right? You need food to live.
I also need a place to live, clothes, transportation, and basic household products.
Good. These are things we need for our daily lives.
But sometimes we can turn a need into a want.
What do you mean?
Take food, for example. I need food, but I don't need to eat at an expensive restaurant 3 times a week.
Exactly.
I could cook at home instead.
And you could still have a nice meal without spending too much money.
That's true.
What about clothes?
I need clothes, but I don't need to buy new clothes every time I see something I like.
That's a good example.
Sometimes I already have enough clothes, but I see a nice shirt online and think, it's on sale. I should buy it.
Ah, the famous sale.
Exactly.
But is something really cheaper if you didn't need it in the first place?
That's a good question.
Imagine a shirt normally costs $50, but today it's $30.
That sounds like a good deal.
But if you don't need the shirt, you've still spent $30.
You're right. Saving money on something you don't need isn't really saving.
Exactly.
I think advertisements also make this difficult.
Definitely. Advertisements are designed to make us want things.
And online shopping makes it even easier.
Why?
Because you can buy something in just a few seconds.
You don't even have to leave your home.
Exactly. You see something, click a button, and it's on its way.
So what can we do to avoid unnecessary shopping?
Maybe we can wait before buying something.
That's a great strategy.
For example, if I want something expensive, I can wait 24 hours before buying it.
And ask yourself a few questions.
Like what?
Do I really need this? Will I use it often? And do I already have something similar?
Those are useful questions.
You can also ask, would I still want this if it wasn't on sale?
That's a really good question.
It can help you understand whether you really want something or you're simply excited about the discount.
I think I should start using that question.
Me too.
But we shouldn't feel guilty every time we buy something we want.
Absolutely not. Money is also for enjoying life.
So the goal isn't to stop spending.
Right? The goal is to spend your money wisely.
And make sure your spending matches your priorities.
Exactly.
If I want to save money for a trip, I might decide to eat at home more often.
And that small change could help you reach your goal faster.
I like that. Instead of thinking, I can't buy this, I can think, I'm choosing to save this money for something more important.
That's a much healthier way to think about money.
And it makes saving feel like a choice instead of a punishment.
Exactly. We've talked about needs and wants. Now let's talk about something many people struggle with, unnecessary shopping.
Especially online shopping.
You really have a problem with online shopping, don't you?
Maybe a little.
What usually makes you buy something online?
Sometimes I see an advertisement. Sometimes a website tells me, only 2 left.
That can create a sense of urgency.
Exactly. I start thinking, if I don't buy it now, I'll miss my chance.
And do you really miss your chance?
Usually not. The same kind of product is probably available somewhere else.
That's an important thing to remember.
Another problem is free shipping.
What's wrong with free shipping?
Sometimes I need to spend more money to get free shipping.
So what happens?
I add something I don't need just to reach the minimum amount.
That's a very common shopping trick.
And then I feel like I saved money because the shipping was free.
But you actually spent more.
Exactly.
What about shopping when you're bored?
That's another problem.
Why?
Sometimes I open a shopping app when I have nothing to do.
And then?
I start looking at products, even though I wasn't planning to buy anything.
That's why it's a good idea to avoid shopping when you're bored.
Maybe I should delete some shopping apps from my phone.
That could help.
Or turn off notifications.
Good idea. Those notifications can make you think about shopping all day.
Another thing I want to change is buying coffee every day.
Do you buy coffee outside often?
Almost every morning.
How much does it cost?
About $4.
$4 doesn't sound like much.
That's what I used to think.
But if you buy one every day, it can become a large amount over a month.
Exactly. I calculated it recently.
How much was it?
Around $100 a month.
Wow.
I was surprised too.
Would you stop buying coffee completely?
No. I still enjoy it.
So what's your plan?
I'll make coffee at home on most days and buy coffee outside once or twice a week.
That's a great example of spending wisely.
I'm not completely removing something I enjoy. I'm just reducing the cost.
Exactly.
I think that's better than trying to stop spending money on everything.
I agree. If your budget is too strict, it can be difficult to follow.
So we should leave some money for fun.
Definitely.
Maybe I can create a small fun budget.
I love that idea.
Then I can spend that money without feeling guilty.
Exactly. When you have a plan, it's easier to control your spending.
And you don't have to feel bad about every small purchase.
Right? The important thing is knowing where your money is going.
And making sure you're spending it on things that really matter to you.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to look at my spending this weekend.
Good idea. You might discover some surprising habits.
I'm a little scared to find out what I spend my money on.
Don't worry. The first step is simply becoming aware of it. Now that we've talked about unnecessary spending, let's talk about something that can make managing money much easier: creating a budget.
I've heard the word budget many times, but I never really had one.
A budget is simply a plan for how you want to use your money.
So I don't need to be an expert with numbers.
Not at all. You can start with something very simple.
How?
First, you need to know how much money you receive each month.
Then I write down my expenses.
Exactly. Start with your regular expenses, such as rent, bills, food, transportation, and internet.
And then I can see how much money I have left.
Right?
What should I do with the money that's left?
You can divide it between savings, entertainment, shopping, and other personal expenses.
So I shouldn't spend everything that's left.
Exactly. It's a good idea to save some money before you start spending.
I've heard people say, pay yourself first. What does that mean?
It means putting some money into your savings as soon as you receive your income.
Instead of waiting until the end of the month.
Exactly. If you wait until the end, you might discover that there's nothing left to save.
That sounds very familiar.
It happens to a lot of people.
How much should someone save?
There's no single answer for everyone. It depends on your income and expenses.
So even a small amount is useful.
Absolutely. Saving a small amount regularly is better than never saving at all.
I could start with $10 or $20 a week.
That's a good beginning.
And then increase it when I can.
Exactly.
What about unexpected expenses?
That's why having an emergency fund can be helpful.
What's an emergency fund?
It's money you keep for unexpected situations, such as a repair, a medical expense, or losing your job.
So I shouldn't use that money for shopping or vacations.
Right? It's there for emergencies.
That makes sense.
Another useful habit is checking your budget regularly.
How often?
Once a week or once a month is enough for most people.
And I can see if I'm spending too much in one area.
Exactly.
For example, if I plan to spend $100 on eating out but spent $150,
Then you know you need to change something.
maybe I can cook at home more often the following week.
Perfect.
What if I spend more than I planned one month?
Don't give up. A budget isn't supposed to make you feel bad.
It's supposed to help me understand my habits.
Exactly. You can adjust your plan when your situation changes.
I like that. It sounds much more realistic.
A good budget should fit your real life.
So I don't need to stop enjoying things.
No. You just need to make sure your spending and saving are balanced.
I think I'm finally ready to create my first real budget.
Great. And in the next part, we'll talk about saving money for a specific goal. Alex, you said earlier that you wanted to save money for a trip. Have you decided how much you need?
Yes. I think I need about $1,000.
That's a clear goal. When would you like to go?
In about 6 months.
So you have 6 months to save $1,000.
Exactly.
Have you calculated how much you need to save each month?
Yes. I need to save around $167 each month.
That's much easier when you look at it month by month.
Yes. When I first thought about saving $1,000, it seemed like a lot.
But breaking a big goal into smaller steps makes it feel more possible.
Exactly.
Where will the money come from?
I've looked at my spending and found a few areas where I can save.
Like what?
I'll eat at home more often, buy less coffee, and reduce my online shopping.
Those sound like realistic changes.
I don't want to make my life miserable just to save money.
That's important. If your plan is too difficult, you may stop following it.
So I want to make small changes that I can continue for 6 months.
Exactly.
I've also decided to wait before buying expensive things.
How long will you wait?
At least 24 hours. If it's very expensive, maybe a week.
That's a smart habit.
Sometimes after waiting, I realize I don't want the thing anymore.
And then you've saved money without feeling like you've lost anything.
Exactly.
Do you think it helps to have a separate savings account?
I think so. If the money is in my normal account, I might spend it.
That's true.
So I'll put my travel money somewhere separate.
Good idea. You could also give your savings account a name like My Trip.
That might actually motivate me.
When you see your progress, it can make saving more exciting.
Yes. I could check it every month and see how close I am to my goal.
And what will you do if you save more than your monthly goal?
I'll be really happy.
Of course.
Maybe I'll keep the extra money for another goal.
That's a great idea.
I think having a clear goal changes the way I think about spending.
How?
Before buying something, I can ask myself, do I want this more than I want my trip?
That's a powerful question.
For example, if I want to buy a new shirt for $40, I can think about how that $40 could help me reach my travel goal.
Exactly.
Sometimes the answer will still be, yes, I want the shirt.
And that's okay.
But at least I'll make the decision consciously.
That's the important part.
I don't want to spend money without thinking.
Right? When you understand your priorities, it's easier to make better choices.
And saving doesn't feel like I'm missing out.
It feels like you're choosing something more important for your future.
Exactly.
So, Alex, do you think you'll reach your $1,000 goal?
I think I can. I just need to stay consistent.
That's the key. Small actions every month can create a big result.
And hopefully, in 6 months, I'll be sitting on a beach.
Now that's good motivation. I think today's conversation taught us something important about money and everyday spending.
Yes. We all use money every day, but sometimes we don't think carefully about how we spend it.
Exactly. Small expenses can seem unimportant, but they can become a big amount over time.
That's true. Buying a coffee, ordering food, or shopping online may not seem expensive at first.
But when we do these things many times, we can spend much more money than we expected.
So it's important to understand where our money goes.
Right? One simple way is to write down your daily expenses.
You can use a notebook, your phone, or a budgeting app.
Then you can see which things you really need and which things you buy just because you want them.
And there's nothing wrong with buying something you want sometimes.
Of course not. Money is also for enjoying life.
The important thing is to find a balance between spending and saving.
Exactly. You don't have to stop spending completely.
You just need to spend your money carefully and consciously.
Another useful habit is making a shopping list before going to the supermarket.
Yes. A shopping list can help you avoid buying things you don't really need.
And sometimes it's better to wait before buying something expensive.
You mean the 24-hour rule?
Yes. If you really want something, wait one day before buying it.
If you still want it tomorrow and you can afford it, maybe it's a good purchase.
But sometimes, after waiting, you realize that you don't need it at all.
That's happened to me many times.
Me too. Sometimes we buy things because we are bored, stressed, or excited.
So understanding our emotions can also help us control our spending.
That's a very good point.
And saving a little money every month can make a big difference in the future.
You don't need to save a huge amount.
Even a small amount can become something useful over time.
So if you're trying to manage your money better, start with small steps.
Track your expenses.
Make a simple budget.
Think before you buy something.
And try to save a little money regularly.
Most importantly, don't feel bad if you make a mistake with your money.
Exactly. Everyone makes financial mistakes sometimes.
The important thing is to learn from them and make better choices next time.
You don't have to become perfect with money.
You just need to become a little better every day.
And remember, managing money isn't only about having a lot of money.
It's about knowing how to use the money you have.
Exactly.
Question of the day: what's one thing you spend money on every day?
Is it coffee, food, transportation, shopping, or something else?
Share your answer in the comments. We'd love to know what you think.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like the video.
Don't forget to subscribe to English Podcast Boost for more English conversations and listening practice.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember to spend your money wisely.
Small changes in your everyday spending can make a big difference in the future.
Thank you for learning English with us today.
Thank you for listening.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.